Build-A-Bot.
Hello, LEGO Transformers fans. This is Soundbox with another Build-A-Bot. On our third episode of Build-A-Bot, we are going to talk about building Rumble and Frenzy. Now, for those of you that don't know, I did do a Rumble video about a year ago. It's on my exclusive Rumble channel, so you have to go over there to watch that one. And they've guest starred in a couple videos now. One I recall right off the top of my head is a Cliff Jumper video. Rumble and Frenzy were causing trouble, and Cliff Jumper came and saved the day. We have Rumble and Frenzy in tape cassette mode. And these hinge pieces are great because these circles that keep the hinges together, they kind of look like the spools on a tape cassette. From the other side, you can see the front part of them. They look like, kind of like folded up robots. And here's Rumble and Frenzy and Robot. You can see their feet, their color breakup, their arms sticking out, and their hands. And you can see their heads. Now here they are with their pile drivers. So in the G1 cartoon, Rumble and Frenzy's arms would transform into pile drivers, and they would use these to cause earthquakes. So we will learn how to make those today as well. So to start off, we'll start off with Rumble. He's the blue one in the cartoon, and that's what I go by. So we're going to start off with a flat 6-stud piece that's 2x3. A flat plate, a 2-stud with a grayish, bluish color. And then a light gray 2-stud wide cheese wedge. And a jumper plate that's also light gray. And a circular 1-stud blue. We're going to attach the 2-stud cheese wedge to the 2x3 plate, and then we're going to set it up. And that is how the feet will be. And the transformer will stand. So next, we'll attach the blue grayish plate, and then we'll take the blue stud and place onto the jumper plate and place it onto it. And now we have Rumble's body, feet, and head. Now to make his arms. We'll take that hinge piece and open it up a little bit so we can see it better. Then we'll take the blue stud and place it on the end of the hinge piece. Place a gray hand piece on top of that. And then we have this quarter circle plate that we'll place on the second stud on the same part of the hinge. Now one arm is complete. Now we'll get the same pieces to do the other arm. The hinge piece, the gray hand piece, the blue stud, and the blue quarter circle plate. Place the stud on the hinge, place the hand on the stud, and place the plate onto the other stud on the same piece of the hinge. Then we take our two arms, and on the sides that have nothing attached to them, we're going to hook those studs to the back of our body into that first 2x3 plate. Do it for both arms, and now we have Rumble in full robot mode. To transform him, we're going to rotate his arms inward, and then rotate his arms downward. And then we can turn him around. And he is a tape cassette now. To build Rumble's pile driver, you need to take these two cannonball looking pieces and a spout piece. These spouts came in old sets as like oil can tops and water spraying spouts. We'll hook one of the cannonballs with the big open hole on top of the spout. The spout has a small circle that's the size of a stud. That'll lock it in as a stud connection. And then we'll place the other one so that the stud of the cannonball is on the bottom. And now we have the pile driver. And you can do this twice and then have both pile drivers for a rumble. If you have these cylinder, one stud cylinder pieces, or what I call cannonball pieces, you could actually, if you have blue, you can make blue pile drivers. But unfortunately, there's not many blue that I own of these. If you don't have that middle connecting piece, that old style spout, there's a new piece you can use. It's the T-joint. And the T-joint works a little differently. You place the T-joint in the small hole on the stud of the cannonball, and then you place the other cannonball the opposite direction, stud down, so that it goes, the T-joint goes into the stud hole. And you have another type of pile driver. So there's two ways to create this, based on two different pieces. I know the T-joint pieces are more prevalent these days. Now let's build Frenzy. So the actual toy is these colors and it's called Rumble. But in the actual G1 cartoon, Rumble had more screen time and he was mostly blue that I could tell. So I've always associated blue with Rumble and red and black with Frenzy. Plus, Frenzy sounds vicious. It sounds like, I don't know, more animalistic and tough. So red and black kind of resemble that to me more than blue does. And I know Transformers lore swaps it up all the time between their colors. But for me, the black and red one is Frenzy. So here we have some dark red cheese wedges. And I could not find a piece that was 2 studs wide, so we just used single stud wedge pieces. Same with the middle plates. Instead of a 2 stud wide, I found 2 single stud flat plates. And then we have a black, one round, one stud, and a dark red jumper plate. Then a regular red 2x3. We'll add our cheese wedges on, and that creates the feet. Set him up just like we did Rumble. And now we can take our 2 flat plates and place them on to make his stomach. Then we'll take the jumper plate, put his head onto it, and place it onto the 2x3. Now the body's done. One good thing about using actual single stud pieces is that you get a line between his feet, so it does look like he has 2 separate feet as opposed to his feet being connected together. Now we'll take a black hinge piece, a black single stud circular, a red hand piece, and a quarter circle black plate. We'll open up our hinge, we'll add our stud to it, we'll add our hand to the top of the stud, and then we'll place our quarter circle flat plate onto it, onto the same they're all on the same side of the hinge. And here's it propped up so you can see it better. Now we'll do this with the other side. Add the black stud to the hinge. Add the red hand to the top of the black stud. And then add the quarter circle to the second stud on the same arm of that hinge. And now we'll prop that up so you can see how that is. Now we need to add these arms to the body. Just like Rumble, we are going to take the open parts of the hinge and hook them to his back, on the back of that 2x3 plate. Look at one arm, then the other. And now we have Frenzy. So you can use the hinges to angle the arms up and down. And to transform Frenzy, you're going to rotate his hands in, rotate his arms downward, and now he's in cassette mode. But let's flip him around so we see the back of him, because that looks more like a cassette than the front. Now for Frenzy, we're going to make the pile driver as well. So I had gray cannonball pieces. I also have black cannonball pieces. Likewise, they are cylinder with a stud with a hole in the top. And then I do have another one, no spout pieces. So we'll hook the spout piece on top of one of the cannonballs. And then the bottom of the cannonball will hook to the top of the spout piece. And there's the pile driver piece completed. So now you have Rumble and Frenzy complete with their add-on accessories. So if you enjoyed this episode of Build-A-Bot, Rumble and Frenzy, definitely stay tuned to more Build-A-Bot episodes. And if you like LEGO Transformers, subscribe. I have many more new Transformers on the way. Thanks for watching.